That's right. Good morning, everybody. I got Gary here with me this morning. I had to play that, Gary, because I realized, once you get monetized, you got to have something there for when the commercial plays so people can get in here. So got to get going, which is kind of crazy because you got there recently yourself. And so tell me how it feels because we talked a long time ago. I think you were the first person I had on. And thank you to Linda R for the super chat and Texas Family Camping. You were on when we were talking about Master Millie way back in the day. So how does it feel now, being where you're at with your channel, Dave?
So, I think I got the question. Something your audio on my end, it's real messed up. I barely can understand what you're saying, but I think you're asking how does it feel now to be monetized
Yep.
versus being on the other side. Yeah, so it's a little different, and it's something I've never experienced. So, uh, it's been amazing. If you don't know the truth, our channel has went. Which technically we were monetized before we were monetized. Our channel was already making money before we got monetized, and thanks to your help with that for getting us the bots and then we've had a couple people come on that sponsored our channel just like you and so we were already in the technical aspects of it already monetized. So we just went to another level of that, and it's been great. It's been
Right.
great. It's
Right.
going to allow us to do more things down the road.
Oh yeah, for sure. And thank you, Melnetti, for that as well for that super chat. We got a bunch of people in here rated from over there. We send them over here, which is I kind of missed that part about being on at 9, but I got so many people to talk to now that it is it gets a little difficult to stay on only at 9. Hello, Melnetti and Foreman and Van Vita and on Van Life Mode. That was nice to see them over there on your channel this morning. Hanging out with you, an artist on the road here. Emails Matters, Texas Family Camping, Chasing America, Happy Place, Lynn Yoki, Wickershire Project, His Way Homestead, Camping Therapy. Got all these people in here this morning. And you're the coffee talk show that you started really just keeps blowing up, and you have a lot of people coming on, but your Tuesday night show tonight, you have on Traveling Robert, which is really cool, and I think if I recall correctly, that's like your first super big huge channel that you've had on to talk to.
Yeah, it actually is it's the it's the first channel over 100,000 subscribers, um, and that is really unbelievable. I know early on you kept telling me you have to ask because you never know until you ask, and so I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm trying to uh, send you a super sticker and
Oh
answer
well,
your
thank you
question
for
at
that.
the same time.
Thank you for
Uh,
that.
and so let me get back over here so that I am actually on the correct live. So yeah, it blows my mind that we were able to get somebody. I say we. Felix and Nettie does all the inviting now.
Hmm.
I'll throw out people I'd like to have, but they'll invite anybody they think fits in their, sort of our realm of people we'd like to have. Not bad mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That
right,
kind of
right.
stuff. And some channels that we think would be interesting to the chat, but wow, to get a channel with over 100,000 subscribers just blows me away. And Traveling Robert, by the way, Felix has been emailing them, and quick response and super nice. Matter of fact, she sent him an email this morning just to confirm. About 5 minutes later, he's done confirming, and so yeah, so we're excited.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball of wax that I think. And thank you, Ford man. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool being here. It's a whole different ball of wax that people that don't do interviews and stuff like that, they don't understand all the background work there is into it. And so I know it's a lot of work off your shoulders to have them out there asking people to come on, and you can concentrate on other stuff. So
Yep.
um,
They probably, I don't know how many requests they send out a day, but it would be a bunch.
yeah, yeah. And Amos is here as well. Hello, Amos. Um,
Because a lot of
so
people think if you ask, they'll come. No, I want to
no,
say about 10% of the people you ask,
right. And then
and
yeah,
probably less than 1% if they've got over 20 or 30,000 subscribers.
right. And a lot of time there's no response too.
Yep.
That's a lot of the time that happens. There's no response that happens. Um,
Next week, we've got a channel going to be on with around a half a million subscribers.
right. That's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So, whose story has surprised you the most that you had on to talk to so far? Because you've had quite a few people on to talk to. Is there somebody that really surprised you to learn something about?
Well, I I like all of them. Probably to see what, and I know it seemed like a scapegoat to say the own van life mode, but their story is amazing. You think about
Mm-hmm.
it. They moved to foreign country and
Yep.
then decided to van life. There's people that's from this country that's afraid to van life.
Yep.
And they done it, and I don't know how long they've been here. I didn't even think to ask them, but they came here. They lived in a rental for a while, and then decided to go van life full time. And they bought the van, had 10 days to get it ready to move into,
Yep.
and that's been, and the humbleness.
Yep.
You were over there today. You probably heard it in her voice and the way she talks. Her husband wasn't able to be with us this morning, but the humbleness of, oh well, we may not have that, but do we really need it, or we can get by without it till we get the money?
Mm-hmm.
That blows me away.
Yeah, and she was that way. I when I found her and commented, and then I sent Gina over to comment on her videos and all that stuff, and she was so happy about that, and just to see that, and then she's been working hard, like she said, at getting her videos edited and all that stuff, and so um, it was really cool to see her come on your show now too, and like she said to get up that early to come on your show.
Yeah.
So
Well, that was funny, wasn't it?
yeah,
That
yeah.
was late for us, even you.
Well,
Uh,
I'm the same time as her, so but I still get up earlier in the day. But yeah,
but
it
that's a trend in the van lifers. They get up when their eyes open.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're when you're talking about having the bigger dreams for your channel this morning, and having the people around you to support that. Um, I remember you talking about you always when you were younger, wanted to have, a morning radio show. And so now, I mean, yeah, it's not like you talk about on there too. You're not making a bunch of money on YouTube, but you're technically making something for doing something that had as a dream when you were younger.
Oh yeah.
And so how does that feel to have happen in your life?
It feels awesome, and people, they say all the time, well, you got freedom, you don't have people to answer to and all that. No, we do. We have to answer to people.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a free platform, and so it's like going into somebody's home. You go into their home, you play by the rules. So we still have guidelines of things we can and can't do, but honestly, there's not really any there that I didn't really already follow anyway. And so it is really cool to have, I call it our show because Nettie and Felix and Jerry make up the show. Uh, legally, technically, it is my show. Uh, but I envisioned the platform that we have now long ago. And it was just putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. And we're still growing and learning, but I love the fact that even though it is a team, when it's all said and done, they asked me, and it's when it's all said and done, it is my final decision of the direction we're going to go. But the cool thing about it is the team, we all think a lot alike. And so
Right.
the direction we have for the show is a common, I don't know how you say it, but we all agree on the direction of the show. In other words, there may be little technical changes that I may want to do different, but uh, we support each other in all of our ideas. We had we're planning on season 2 already. We're making some changes for season 2 that'll come up later in the year. And yesterday, I was the lone soul that agreed with this one thing, and and it was so cool. I think
Right.
they knew that I was going to go that direction, and I'm like, I know I'm going against the grain, but this is what I want to do, and they just laugh at me and like go along.
Yeah.
And, but that's the cool part of it. I love being able to do it, even though we have 20 or 30 people in a real radio show would have thousands, maybe millions. But, we'll take what we got and have fun and roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it may be a real radio show one day. You're starting out on it, and you never know who's gonna see your show and all that stuff, and what's gonna happen with it. And one of the things that and for people that are listening on the podcast, they actually know your voice a lot more than people that are here watching on video every day, because they hear one of your messages before each one of the podcasts goes out. Because Gary has a podcast too, guys. So that's why I play that on there. If you do listen on there, and that's been cool to see grow too, and it gives you a different perspective when you're talking, because I notice you have to do it, and I have to do it a lot too. You have to mention what's going on the screen, or mention URLs and stuff like that. So that's probably been a little bit of an adjustment for you too. But is it exciting to see that take off too?
Yeah. Yeah. I would not have a podcast. When I tell, and I say this a lot on my own show, but I would not be, I don't even know that I would have had the courage to keep going as we were growing if it were not for this guy sitting beside me right here. Bob and I talk. We have talked every night of the week before. Sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
might go a week without talking, but it's rare that me and Bob go without messaging each other. We don't talk on the phone, but we message each other. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Back before I started back to school, me and him both would be up, and we'd be messaging each other at 1 my
Yeah.
time and at 2 o'clock in the morning about ideas. And if I come up with something that he could use, I'd share it with him, or vice versa. He got me in the podcast. He got me into doing bots, and both have been a big asset. Also, he got me into interviewing. He's like, "You're gonna have to start interviewing people, and you're gonna have to ask. Don't matter. Don't be scared of rejection."
Yeah.
But I and Bob also sponsored our music on our show. So all the cool music you hear in the intros and extras, that's paid for by Bob's channel. Bob is a guy that likes to pay blessings forward, and so we're the benefit of that sometimes, and that's been awesome. But yeah, the podcast has been something new. Felix talked about it today on the show, that we're still learning and trying to remember to that we have listeners only.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
been a learning experience.
Yeah. It's a whole new one. And on Van Life mode, they have a question for you. They said they forgot to comment. Um, that conversion of the schoolies are the best, and since you drive school buses, have you considered doing one of those?
So I love the schoolies. The reason that me and Tammy would consider a van, we had actually not considered vans in the past, but with the direction of us not knowing that our inflatable business is going to even be there come spring, and we're starting to think that it may not. We've tried to expand our vinyl business. We sell the vinyl for the shirts and mugs and all that. But anyway, so with that business growing, we're thinking about maybe doing van life. Don't know. We're still looking and looking at cargo trailers and all this. But anyway, the van life fits a double purpose in our life. It fits maybe even a triple purpose, but at the very least, a double purpose of it is useful in one of our businesses. Like we could do vinyl, and it would be easily used in van life mode as well. So it would double down. It would take two vehicles and put it into one. So
Right,
where the schoolie wouldn't fit but one use, and that would be fun mode, and that would be all it could be used for. We're not going to go. We're not going to be full timers. We may one of these days be most timers, but as long as me and Tammy's not financially wealthy, so we can't just walk away from work one day and get a check. Uh,
right,
so we're going to have an income, and that has always been one of our businesses. So.
right. Britain Farm Homestead and Shanna Craft are in here now. And kind of along that, when you look back in September of last year and how much change has happened, you could probably go back to September of last year and you probably wouldn't believe yourself that you'd be monetized on YouTube and be talking to all these people that you're talking
No, September last year, I knew nothing about YouTube. Hadn't even considered it. I don't. No, I hadn't even considered it. Uh, Never thought about a pandemic, worldwide pandemic. Never thought about that. We had was buying an RV, which we've had many RVs, but we're speaking to buy another RV, and but never really thought about. That I didn't put my first video out till sometime in December, and then I left for Uganda for about 14 or 15 days. Come back, started posting Uganda videos, got the attention of a couple of people. That got us noticed by Mike and MJ, and then Blue Wave Odyssey. Then I started doing the video raid live. I done the one on Truba Duo, and then the rest was history.
to.
Truba Duo got us noticed. Uh, the Truba Duo video raid, and then we done the Truba Duo video raid live. And when we started doing the live video raids, that got us. That changed our life. And but no, I couldn't have not. I could have not imagined a year ago we'd be here.
Right. And Box Van D's in here now. Hello, D. And somebody else, and it's funny what they say. They're here, but they can't watch me because they're watching a 5 minute ad. Is Simple Life Reclaimed, and we both talked to them, and it's been cool. It's been cool to become friends with a lot of people here on YouTube that are other YouTubers that probably wouldn't have met. Like another one of mine is Construction Crony popped in here as well. We call ourselves bobbers. Okay. If you want to call yourself
That's
bobbers.
good. I love that.
And thank you, Box Van D, for the super chat there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Yeah.
Simple Life Reclaimed. I feel like I know them like friends. I'm a few days behind on videos. I used to be one of the first ones to watch them, but I've not been feeling well lately, and so I've not watched as many videos as I normally would. and I've not got theirs watched yet. Um, but I love that channel and that family, and had them on my show, and you've had them on your show, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and they're real. And if anybody don't have Simple Life Reclaimed, that is a great channel. They're real, down to earth. They show their emotions, whatever it is,
Right.
and they're do-it-yourselfers to the extreme.
Yep. They are, and it'll be kind of cool to get to see you one day because I'm looking. I still look at, and thank you on Van Life Mode for that super chat as well. I I looked, and speaking of box fans, because Boxman D has one. Like that's the reason I changed it from Adventure to on wheels because I started thinking kind of like you, Gary. Like instead of limiting myself, let's see kind of what's out there when I have the funds to do it. And so I was just scrolling through today, just kind of curious, and I found like a box van that's like maybe like a 20 footer, so it's not that big. You can still park in parking spaces, and it was like $3,500. It was
Yeah,
somebody's like work truck that they've outgrown that they don't need anymore. So it's stuff like that.
I have looked at so many things, and the great thing about wanting to learn is anything you want to learn about, invite somebody on your channel that's done that, and you can
Mm-hmm.
learn, and
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. We've sent out, I say we, Felix and Nettie sent out some invites, and some interesting invites. So I hope we get them on our show so we can learn even more about different things that go into a build.
Yep. Yep. And good morning, Van Life Rocks. And that's been one of the things that's been cool to see, Gary, as we went along, is starting basically when we started. Oh, and thank you, Simple Life Reclaimed. Congratulations, boss. So happy, proud of you for all the hard work you did to get here. The future is bright. Keep looking up. I love you, man. Well, thank you. Thank you, Van Life Rock, for the super sticker. Oh man, that is a little hard to get used to, Gary, like you were saying.
Oh
But
man, that's hard to get used to. Getting super chats. That is hard. Uh, so you're like me. You're extremely grateful. While we got Simple Life Reclaimed here before they run off, we're going to have Traveling Robert on our show tonight, and I announced it earlier. But for some of y'all that just came in, I would love to break my record of 99 in the chat tonight. So it's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Traveling Robert on our show, and he's done confirmed this morning. So would love to have you all there if you could. So
yep.
just throw that shout out there. So
Yeah, we're gonna try to get everybody there that we can. So everybody that you know, make them get their phone out, like make 2 accounts, whatever we gotta do to get Gary over
we want
there.
Traveling Robert to have a big audience tonight. We want
Right.
y'all to be able to connect. Hopefully, we'll be able to take a lot of questions out of the chat. I've got some interesting questions. I want to learn about Cuban coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said I couldn't drink any coffee that had to be drunk out of a shot glass. So thanks,
Yeah.
Simple Life Reclaim.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So there, and there's the rest of the times if you need them. 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, 6:30 Pacific today. And yeah, I want to say like it's a real interesting situation too. How once it starts going, oh, and Box Van D is doing her 1 year on in 7K on Sunday. Nice. Well, be over there too. And the Traveling Robert, there's the Traveling Robert link if you guys are interested. Natty just posted it. And just hit the reminder button and pop on over there to make sure it pops up. Is there people now since you started interviewing that before you thought, oh, that'd be crazy. We could never get somebody like that. But now, like you had people like Traveling Robert say yes. Are you kind of opening your mind up to more possibilities? Because I know I have as I went along.
Yeah. So yeah. Uh, we're getting some good responses. Next week we got a channel going to be on that's got nearly 500,000 subscribers. So that gets your blood to pumping, and so yeah, it does. It opens up that, and also it also opens up the idea that maybe one of these days I'll start getting those invitations. And so that's where your channel really grows when people sees what you're doing. When you invite people to your channel, that's awesome. But when other
Mm,
people invite you to be on theirs, that's when you really get introduced, and that's the best way of networking they are. And so I want to be a resource. I want my show to be a resource. So if you're a new channeling, you're into RVing or homesteading, I want people to say, hey, you need to tune in to Daydream. And
mm-hmm.
they have all kind of cool channels. You can learn something. You can connect with some cool channels. You never know who's going to be there, big, little, or small. And that's what I want people to know about our channel. And hey, occasionally he goes camping and all this. May have a few videos thrown in to go with it, but I want to be a resource that people will want to have.
Right, right. And I think it's cool how you have your the crew around you too. Like when did you come up and decided that you wanted to have the whole crew there all the time and not just like one person or the other?
Well, so I knowed it all along, but I didn't know if it would work on YouTube. And I didn't know the response that that we would get. So in the early '90s here in North Alabama, late '80s, early '90s, a syndicated radio show got started. They're big now. They're syndicated all over the country. And but it's Rick and Bubba show. Some of you guys may have heard of them. But anyway, they started their show. It was basically Rick, and then Rick added Bubba, which was the behind the scenes producer. Well, he brought him up on the platform. It was a radio show then. This was way before live streaming radio shows was a thing, and now they live stream on YouTube. But anyway, so he had Bubba, and then they hired another producer to come in, Speedy, and then Speedy became a part of the show, and then now they've hired his brother to come in, and the show has exploded. It seems like the more people that they have on with the headphones on and the mic, the bigger the show that they have,
Mm,
and it's more interacting. So when I seen that it was a possibility, Box Fan D sort of gave me the idea of doing it. I didn't know it could be done. See, I didn't know really how you could do it, and I never thought about putting uh, a producer in the green room and how
mm,
that worked. I didn't. I really didn't understand StreamYard. Well, once I figured out that StreamYard was totally capable of doing it, it was a no-brainer then, and I knew exactly who we wanted on the show. It never was a doubt. I didn't have to think about it. Uh, so uh, it just the Rick and Bubba show, the syndicated radio show, is where I got the idea from. I will say that Box Fan D helped me as in showing me how to make it happen. And she didn't know, even though when she told me what she told me on one of my live streams about putting them in the green room and all that, she didn't really realize she was actually telling me how to do something I wanted to already do, but in a different way. So,
mm.
uh,
Yeah.
so
And Simple Life Reclaimed, they're going to be doing a live collaboration with German Shepherd Ranch and the Country Road Cure this Saturday. And they started using StreamYard and stuff. And hello, Van Life with Gina Payne, dropping a super sticker this morning. Thank you so much for that. Um, yeah, it is a different situation. Now, because you have that whole crew, like you gotta stay on top of scheduling for that and the guests. So that's like even double what I stay on top of. So
Yeah.
How do you stay on top of doing all that? Do you
Well,
have a calendar you stick to now, more so in the beginning?
yeah. They have sent me not. They wanted me to have a calendar, and Nettie sent me one, so I actually have a calendar. And Nettie and Felix, they do all the booking. I don't. I throw out names of channels that I have interest in getting on, and there's no way of inviting everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
we invite little channels, we invite big channels, and they may throw out 100 invites. We may get 10 back, but right now we're booked into November. We don't book way out ahead because I don't want to be booked way out ahead. But right now, to get on the show, it's going to be into November before we could get anybody on. Uh, and that right there tickles me to death. If there's that many people that want to be on our little show, I mean, we only have 20 or 30 people on average on the day show, and the night show we run in the 40s. And to me, I'm thinking, that's not the biggest channel on YouTube.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, if people want to come talk, it's surprising. Arizona Insider popped in here now.
He's been on our show.
Yeah, you had quite a few on your show, and I think if I can do the quick math here, as far as numbered shows goes, you're the 56th that I've had on so far. So
I have not counted how many we've had, but it's been a bunch.
yeah, well, I don't know if you're numbering your episodes when you put them in the podcasting, but
I was, but I quit because I kept getting numbers. So I do season 1. That's all I put on them. They're all named. So if you want to find a podcast, you search the name.
Yeah, yeah, and just been on here too, and Arizona Insider, and go check him out. He's been starting to grow too. It's been really awesome to see, and I think that's one of the cool things about your show too is you like having the smaller channels on as well as the bigger ones because you want to help the smaller channels out because we've both been there where and I just barely made it myself but where we were struggling to get to where we're monetized and so I know I love helping little guys and I've seen how much joy you get helping people out too and we can get them to grow at least a few people when you have them on their show.
Yeah, we try. I know we're going to miss some people, and nothing personal. We may not get. There's some channels that I'm moderators on. I've never been asked to be on their show. I have been shouted out on some big channels, and I'm moderators on their channels, and I've never been asked to be interviewed on their channel. So I don't take it personally, and I hope none of our chat does either. And there's really no rhyme or reason. There is some guidelines that we have in deciding who we want, but there's not really a lot. We just try to put people on there that may be different, and stuff. And not everybody's going to agree with the people you have on. And so I figured out early on, it's even hard to try to explain it to people.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like each guest gets a different reaction, and you're like, sometimes you're surprised by it. You're like, why is that? Why does that happen? And then it's just and Boxman D says you can go on her show, Gary, so you can pop up over there, go on D's show. That'll give you
that'd be awesome, Boxman D. You let me know when. I love Boxman D.
So I keep hearing about this season 2, man. And it sounds like you got some stuff planned in season 2 because mine just switched to season 2 because I'm having all kinds of guests on, authors and actors and musicians and stuff, so all kinds of people. So I'm guessing you got a pretty big change to say, hey, we're making a stake and it's going to change to season 2 now.
So a lot of times it's the little changes that make the biggest impact. So we constantly talk. Like I said, Felix and Nettie and Jury all have the same vision for the show as I do. as I do with their channels. So, we promote their channels quite a bit as much as we can as they have stuff. We have a lot of raids, like on Felix when she does video, because I want us, our crew is a family. That's the way I see it. And so, yeah, I do get the credit, but try to bring it all up. But anyway, we talk, we have a group text, and we talk daily for hours. Like, we'll all be working or doing something at our home, and we'll still be pitching stuff back and forth to each other. And so, if you are a live streaming channel and you're not planning on your next season already, you're behind.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it has to not necessarily, it needs to grow, but it needs to be a little different every season, I think. Of course, this year has been crazy because we
Right.
still hadn't got, we're just now starting to get our identity, right? And so we
Mm-hmm.
started with no identity, and we started, and as time has went on, we've started to get an identity. So it has changed a lot this year, where typically you wouldn't do much changing.
Yeah.
I think we'll always evolve. I'm not an analytics person too much, but I do try to feed off of what the chat likes, because no chat, no channel.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, when you're talking about planning for the next season, like my next season's gonna be when I have that mobile studio built and I start going around, and then I get to do cool meetups with with you, and you've done a few already, and that video that you did with K&R was pretty funny. Did you have a fun time setting that up with those two?
So they are awesome. They done the video. I knew some time ahead that they were coming, but I was sworn to secrecy, and had a lot of issues with that secrecy during the meetup, because we had some of our great friends, our Epic RV Adventure, was calling while we were with Kyle and Ryan, and we couldn't tell anybody because this was not going to be revealed until the video come out, right? And so we had to sort of wing it some, but Kyle and Ryan are, I love them on YouTube, but I loved them even more after I met them. And I've never laughed so hard in my life. We have a toy hauler, and so we only spent one night at the campground. That's all the time they had and we had. And so we met up at the campground for one night, and then we spent the whole next day together, and before they left going north. But that night in in our garage part of our toy hauler, we moved the dining table out there, and Tammy fixed supper for all of us, and so we all sat out there on the couches in the garage area because it started raining. We were going to sit out by the fire, but we went into the garage, and my stomach hurt. I laughed so hard that night. We just had a great time.
Right, right. I can imagine with those two that you would start laughing. And have I thought about it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me, Moss, I have thought about retired ambulance. That's that would make the best, and that's what I'd like to get. But I'm just keeping my eye on things on there. So one comes up, that's definitely the best option because I'd like to have all the studio gear on the outside of it. So that way, one day when me and Gary are going on tour around the United States together doing this show, that we can just pull the studio stuff out and set it up. We can both do interviews there at the same time and then just bug out and get out of there.
I have and then me and Tammy got this before I started doing YouTube too much. But I have a WeBoost system. But I would love if down the road have something even better than that. I don't know if they make anything better than that, but because we've got plans to do some lives down the road, live morning shows or evening shows live. You know what I'm saying? Live. So from
Yeah.
locations. So
Yeah, well, the Starlink satellite internet is supposed to be going pretty soon. It's already in beta right now. They've already done some testing with it, so we'll see how that works. And Forever Best Friend popping in the house. What's up to you as well? And yeah, I don't know if I want to run through the streets with the lights on. That's a pretty hefty ticket there. They catch you running lights when you're not supposed to have them on. Uh, but you know, I thought it was funny that uh, Kyle calls you the
yeah,
mayor of YouTube, the mayor of YouTube, and then they actually people wanted you to run for office in your town. So I thought that was kind of funny.
yeah. I ran for office in our city 4 years ago. Lost by 35. There's 1,500 people voted. If I had flipped 35 more people, I would have been a city councilman. And
Wow.
so it was an experience. I wouldn't take nothing for it. We had a lot of local funding for the campaign. We spent the most money that had ever, to our knowledge, had ever been spent on a campaign, only because it didn't come out of my pocket. Now, some of it did, but the vast majority of it come out of the people that wanted me elected. And
Right.
we had a good time doing it. I wouldn't take nothing for the experience, but I chose not to run this time. I had a lot of support wanting me to run and didn't. I had got into YouTube and met all you guys, and I did not want to, between working for a living, I just wanted to work, and I had a vision then of having to taking the YouTube to something maybe bigger, and I knew I couldn't do both. Uh, and a campaign, even a city campaign, is tough on your family. So.
Right. Right. Yeah, I can imagine just all the time you have to spend away. You did the fundraising and all that kind of stuff as well. Um, and I got a few more minutes with you today because I got quite a few interviews stacked up today. So I'll talk to you a little bit longer here. Is there things that you want? Um, is there guests other than YouTube that you start to like to add to your rotation?
So, other than YouTube, wow, of course, there's, uh, there's these big superstars, a matter of fact, we did send the invitation to Stevie Nicks.
Oh man,
Uh, we did send the invitation because you don't know until you don't know.
right,
Uh, you know, I don't know. Really, never really thought about that a lot. But if you're talking about people that you enjoy listening to, like I say, that would be cool. There's probably a lot if I sat down and really thought about it uh, that I would like to interview. But right now, I just can't think right off the top of my head because that's just so unlimited. I mean, I just blows me away to think that if I could have anybody, who would it be?
right.
Well, I kind of think it would be Stevie Nicks. So,
Right. That'd be really cool if you do get her one day, and I'm gonna enjoy the day when I get one too. I'm just starting to do that because my calendar has gotten so full that I haven't really needed to worry about adding any more people yet. Like it keeps extending and adding on. So um, and you experienced too, and I kind of told you it was going to happen. Eventually, people start asking you about
oh
being
yeah,
on the show, and it's a whole change then because then you start getting more busy with having guests than with
yeah,
looking for them.
yeah.
So
We have we get a lot of people wanting to be on the show now, and uh, that does make it interesting when you're trying to book people, and and we try to work in if we can.
right, right. No, having somebody like Steven Nicks or something like that come on and show that'd be pretty
Oh
crazy.
wow,
Uh,
y'all, I don't even know if I can even handle that. I don't know if my heart can handle it. I've been a Stevie Nicks fan since I was a kid.
yeah. Yeah, and Artist on the Road mentions our beards are looking good. Well, they should be because we're going to be on the winning team of the
Yeah, and I
beard
didn't
up
even
challenge.
think to do my second month video, but since I'm on live every day, everybody can see it.
Yep, yep. No, I got to put out one here. Probably ain't much again in a little bit. Yeah. Oh man, Gina can't get her wheels put on until first. She's dealing with the smoke, and she got fire close by her. Um, Coming, so that is no good at all. Oh, Happy Place Camping says they would love to have you in the basement the whole show. She is in a good
Uh,
mood today, so I knew it was going to be trouble for you all day today.
this come from somebody that won't do a live on her own. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I have tried and tried and tried because she needs the hours. I said, why
Yep,
don't you do my days for me, fill in?
yep,
She do it on her own channel and get the hours and all that. And I'm sure everybody go over and watch. But no.
yep. No, I understand, Gary. I understand. I understand completely. I told Nettie to take Saturdays, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know about my internet," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So me and you, same boat, man. Trying to get some people some hours, get them going.
Yeah. Happy Place Camping and Nettie and all those does good videos and stuff. And
Yeah,
they
they do.
deserve to be monetized.
Yeah,
Jury Holly. Jury is
yeah,
monetized now. So,
yeah, yeah. That's all we're trying to do is pay it forward to you guys
yeah.
and all that stuff. So, um, but you guys need to go check out Travel and Roberts tonight. Gary's been hyping the show for a while. There might be a laser light show afterwards and an encore performance by a rock band. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll have to come over and check them out every morning over at Coffee Talk. Um, and that's why I usually try to get the morning announcement show going. But today was a 3 interview day, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be right on right after Gary anyway. So we'll go back on tomorrow. Um, is there? Yeah, they just want to do videos. They're a little over halfway there. Well, hey, yeah, if your videos are getting you over halfway there, then that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Is there anything else you want people to know, Gary, about Daydream About Nice Things and where they can hear everything?
No, so just we're on Monday through Friday. We go from I'm always thinking Central Time. It's 9 to 11 Central, 10 to 12 Eastern,
Right.
and then on Tuesday night we do our one night show, which is Tuesday nights 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Which that'll be tonight's show. Will be Traveling Robert. And so that is our biggest guest to date, Traveling Robert. So he has about 150,000 subscribers. Super great guy. And so we'd love to have everybody over there.
Yep. Awesome. Everybody go check them out. And until next time, guys, stop waiting for life to happen and make it happen. See you later, guys.